Thank you so much for being with us today. If you could start just by introducing yourself and your role at FEA.
Well, my name is Ron Felder. I am the FEAA Higher Education Access Partner for Philadelphia. My job task is to support all the post-secondary, secondary outreach, libraries, and state legislative offices for the city of Philadelphia for Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency, which is the state grant administration agency that administrates the state grants for Pennsylvania residents. I pretty much do all the financial aid nights, FAFSA completion workshops, scholarship events, even on the weekends, trainings for the schools when it comes to needing help with understanding state regulations and those aspects. That's my job.
So you're busy with some very important work. If you could tell students and families what is the FAFSA and why is it so important for them to complete?
The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. It's extremely important to complete because it actually helps you find free money for college, and if you need any additional loans, you can actually have that you have the accessibility with this application as well. But mainly, it actually is developed for free grants for post-secondary education.
And what are some of the most common FAFSA questions or challenges students and families have this year? And what advice are you giving them to address those questions or challenges? Since we all know this is an odd year for the FAFSA as they're updating to the better FAFSA system.
Some of the challenges this year is do I have to do it I have to do it at a certain time, or I'm not going to get any aid. So a lot of people don't understand the deadlines. Another challenge is understanding that you have to have a FAFSA ID in order to start the application. Some people are just assuming they could just log in with their name, with first name and last name, and their social security and date of birth, and they can start it that way. So it doesn't work that way this year. They also have to understand that they have to have filed their their 2022 tax information. So a lot of people are a little confused about that because they assume that they have to just file 2023, and that's really it.
Thank you. And so if a family has not filed their 2022 taxes and needs assistance, are there resources in Philadelphia that you would point them to?
Absolutely, any tax preparer, or that definitely can support them. Or if they haven't even filed their taxes, there's an option on the FAFSA that says it has not completed the 2022 tax information, and they can still complete the free application for federal student aid as well.
Okay, fantastic. And so what is FEA and how does it connect to the FAFSA?
So FEA is the Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency. We administrate the state grants for the Pennsylvania residents. However, we also disperse state grants for outside states like Delaware, Massachusetts, Ohio, Vermont, West Virginia, and DC. Um, but 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 the majority of the money that you will get from FEA will be in state schools. Um, FEA also administers special programs as well, i.e. CHAFE, foster care, PA tip, ready to succeed in that aspect, which is additional grant money for students who are looking to go into higher education or looking to achieve their a post-secondary degree.
So what do students and families need to do to submit FEA and why is FEA so important?
Well, you need to first complete the FEA state grant application, which will now be called Grant Us this upcoming year. You can only select one school on the application, and it actually is usually done by this application is usually done by the student. You have to make sure that this application reflects the school that you plan on attending. If it does not, the funds will go to the school that we assume that you have on the application, but it's up to the students responsibility to go back into the application to update that application. And what was your other question, Kelly? I just want to make sure I don't miss that. The back
Sure.
end of it.
So why is FEA so important?
Because it's an additional $5,750 of grant money that
Mm-hmm.
a student might need for college.
Mm-hmm. And do they have to pay that money back?
Absolutely not, because it's
Mm-hmm.
grant. When you hear
Mm-hmm.
grant, it's free money. It's gift aid. Um, and if, in my book, whenever I hear anything that's free that I don't have to pay back, I'm going to take advantage of it as much as possible.
So you mentioned that students will need to go back and update the FEA with the school that they end up enrolling in. Is there a timeline for when students need to have that completed?
Yes, so the FIA state grant deadline for our traditional schools is May 1st. However, we do have another deadline for our open enrollment schools, similar like Community College of Philadelphia, Orleans Technical Trade School. Their deadline is August 1st.
Got it. So in order for FEA money to be sent to the correct school, students need to have not only the FEA complete, but with the school that they are planning to attend by May 1st, correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, got it. So how are some of the changes and delays in this year's FAFSA impacting FEA and Pennsylvanians who apply for PA state grants?
Well, the delays on this FAFSA, there were a lot of IT delays, so a lot of the communications was not sharing over. We still are in the process of uploading our grant test application. So right now, a lot of students are looking for this FIA state grant application link, and it's not available yet, but it will be available in the next upcoming weeks. Also with the FAFSA application, uh, some some parents as well as students weren't able to create their FAFSA ID because of verification issues, social security numbers not matching, things like that. Some certain schools put aggressive deadlines for folks to actually have their FAFSA to be done, the students to be done, but none of the schools actually have submitted any communication until actually next week when Department of Ed will be submitting releasing those applications to submit communications back to the students to find out exactly how much aid they'll be receiving.
And that's a lot for an already daunting and emotionally charged process. What are you telling students and
Mhm.
families right now and educators too who are working with students on this process? What are you telling them as they are, probably a lot of people finding themselves frustrated?
Well, I've been telling them, listen, for the first time ever, it's not your fault. It's ours. Uh, you know, I would love to say no, no, no. The student put the wrong input information, and no, this is actually on our end. It could have been communicated a little more better. But it's something that, not FIA, but Department of Ed. But it's something that we have to be patient with. This too will go smoothly once everything is ironed out. And believe it or not, the October 1st application is already ready, smooth, ready to go. So this is just it's just something new that we just have to get used to. But this too shall pass.
So just keep pushing, stay in contact with folks like you,
Stay in
financial aid
contact with your
offices,
schools.
counselors,
Yep.
and just keep
Yep.
going.
Read your email, read your emails.
Mhm.
Just micromanage your post-secondary endeavors.
Mm,
But
love
it's
that.
okay. All the colleges are fully aware of what's going on, and they understand. It's for the first time they can all say it's not the students this time. Yes.
So, transitioning to the financial aid award letter, what can students and families do between submitting FAFSA and receiving their financial aid award letters to be proactive in making decisions around college enrollment?
They can still be looking for scholarships and grants outside of the normal FAFSA and FIA. Researching any institutional aid or merit aid that the colleges offer. Ask for support, and just by all means, just keep I'd say chipping away at the boulder.
Hmm. And then once they do receive that financial aid award letter, especially this year, given that compressed timeline,
Mhm.
students receiving award letters later this year, likely around early April. You mentioned that FIA May 1st deadline, so students and families really need to make some quick and important decisions. So, what should students and families do as soon as they receive that financial aid award letter?
As soon as the student and families receive that award letter or letters from different colleges,
Hmm.
I definitely do suggest that everybody sits down at the table and see exactly what school has given you the most money, and actually look at the school that's going to have the least amount of student loan debt or any type of debt, and actually make your decision that on that aspect. Because I am a parent who has a son in college as well too. So when we looked at our son, we had all these award letters, but we had to figure out which one was the best financial responsibility which was the best school for him to go to that he was going to get his degree, and he leaves school with the least amount of student loan debt, and it doesn't put such a burden on the family.
Fantastic. And so, as our final question, how did financial aid impact your own college journey? And what do you remember about completing the FAFSA yourself or with your family as a prospective college student?
Um, Financial aid helped me a whole lot because I did go to a very private. I went to a prestigious private institution in the United States. However, I do remember never doing the FAFSA because my sister was in college before me. She was 3 years in front of me, and she would always do it. But when I did start doing when I did my work study job in the financial aid office, I started understanding the FAFSA, understanding the difference between grants and loans, and seeing how much I was racking up on my own personal bill. And it was just like, wow, how do I fix this? How do I save an individual like myself who are coming from a low income family, and show them how to benefit even better, and just make their race easier and take the hurdles off their track. So that's how it helped me.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that personal connection. Appreciate it. Anything else that we haven't talked about that you would share with the Philly Goes to College audience before we sign off?
For students, please please keep your eyes open for the Grant Us email that's coming down from FEA. That'll be
Hmm.
where your state grant link will be at. Also, just stay in tune, watch the news. I know as much students don't want to watch the news, but pay attention to what's going on. See if your schools are giving out any additional money, and always ask for scholarships while they're in school.
Mm. All right. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ron. Really appreciate your time.
Anytime, Kelly. Thank you so much for having me.